So at some point, I grew up to be an arrogantly righteous kid. I blame it on my parents and the children's Bible stories they read to us before we went to bed. If David could stand up to Goliath, I could stand up to the elementary school bullies, even if it put my life in mortal danger. I grew up to be an adult kind of the same way. My children and my wife can attest to that. I have two stories to tell you before I get to the silver lining. On October 31, 1996, I was teaching third grade. We had a wonderful day. We decorated pumpkins. We wrote stories about spooky characters. We made this wonderful tessellation of geese migrating south for the winter. At the end of the day, I was exhausted mentally, physically, and emotionally. My three little children were waiting at home so Daddy and Mommy and they could go trick-or-treating together. I had a 6-mile bike ride through the darkness to get home. I was standing on the pedals. I was cutting corners. I was flying. I was 5 blocks from home on East King Street here in Lancaster when something white came flying out of the darkness. I saw it just before it slammed into the front of my helmet, knocked my head sideways. I swerved out to the middle of the road. I was lucky a car wasn't right behind me or I'd have been dead or really seriously injured. And my arrogant righteousness took over. I was scared, I was mad, and I went back to yell at the kids. And while I was yelling at them, what I learned later, one of the kids had a tube sock full of frozen eggs, and he swung it, came out of the side, slammed right into the left side of my face. Glasses went flying. I crumpled right over the handlebars of the bike, bent the front wheel almost perpendicular sideways. The rest of the bike wheeled over on top of me. It turned out I was right in the middle of a police stakeout. They were there within seconds. The kids ran off. They helped me find my broken glasses, stuck me in a squad car, filled out all the forms. I was late getting home, so my 3 little kids were standing at the door waiting for Daddy. Where's Daddy? We're going trick-or-treating. And they saw me pull up in a squad car. I get out, start walking up the steps, and they come running out. Daddy, what are you doing in a police car, Daddy? We want to go trick-or-treat. Are you ready? And I said, just let me get my other glasses on. Let me change my pants. I had a big rip in my pants. And then we can go. My wife took one look at me and she said, nope, we're going to the ER right now. I'm like, honey, I'm okay. I might have a black eye tomorrow. I'm okay. And that no-nonsense voice she has, she said, look in the mirror. So I went to look in the mirror, and the left side of my face was all caved in. We got the neighbors to take the kids trick-or-treating. We went to the hospital, and that's when the pain hit. I started vomiting from the concussion and the pain. A week later, they drugged me up, sent me home. A week later, they did surgery, pulled the bones out, got my face looking mostly symmetrical. But on the left side of my face, the nerves never really healed. So depending on the weather, depending on the temperature, depending on how tired I am, the left side of my face kind of feels like a nasty case of poison ivy or a bad sunburn. On the good days, it's just this kind of dull ache. So for the last 24 years, I felt that every time I wake up, every time I look in the mirror. Sometimes I wonder if I could go back to 1996, would I change my actions? Would I just keep riding home, leave that for someone else to take care of? And I honestly don't know what I would do. Because for the past 24 years, I've had to forgive myself every morning. And it's made me more tolerant of other people and their mistakes. It's taken a long time. But I've learned to not jump in and think that it's up to me to save the world quite in the same way that it did before. On October 16th, 2017, I and 22 other people stood in front of a large excavator. We were trying to stop the Atlantic Sunrise pipeline that was being built through Lancaster County. And Lancaster Against Pipelines, the organization that organized the protest, did a great job working with the local police. They did a great job organizing, a great job training us. But it was tense. There was a lot of wild cards. Nobody knew exactly what was going to happen. And when the West Hempfield Township policeman came up with his black official handcuffs, that arrogant righteousness took over. Except it didn't. That audacious righteousness took over. My hand went up without me planning it. My hand went up and I said, "Welcome." And we shook hands. And then he told me I was under arrest. Put my hands behind my back. He put the cuffs on. He locked me in the squad car. But he knew, and I knew, that my arrest began with one simple, audaciously righteous word, and that is, welcome. Thank you.